A young girl named Darci Lynne, a puppet, and a tragic secret that nearly destroys it all. This isn't just a talent story. It's a battle against unimaginable odds, hidden struggles, moments of heartbreak, and a stage that could either make or break her. What secret tragedy almost silenced this rising star before she took the stage? And what dark truth lurked in the background, threatening to end it all before it began? Unveiling the tragic truth. Born on October 12, 2004, Darci Lynne Farmer was just like many other kids, full of dreams and wonder. Growing up in Edmond, Oklahoma, she was quiet and liked to keep to herself. She enjoyed singing at home, but singing in front of people was different. Every time she thought about being on stage, fear would take over, and she'd end up hiding behind her mom, Misty, who always tried to encourage her. It seemed like Darci's singing would stay a secret forever, until one particular night changed everything. How does a shy little girl hiding behind her mom become a superstar on the biggest stages in the world? The big moment came one night at a church event when Darci saw something that fascinated her. A ventriloquist was on stage, bringing a puppet to life, and the way that puppet seemed to have its own personality amazed her. Darci watched in awe as the puppet sang and interacted with the crowd, and something sparked inside her. Maybe this was the answer she needed to share her voice without feeling so scared. The idea stuck with her. Could the spark ignited by the ventriloquist lead Darci to overcome her fears and embrace her dreams? That night, Darci asked her parents for a puppet. They saw how much this meant to her and decided to make it happen. For her 10th birthday, she got her very first puppet. It seemed like a simple gift, but it was about to change her whole life. She started practicing ventriloquism in front of her bedroom mirror, singing through the puppet and imagining how much people would love it. Suddenly, she wasn't just a shy girl anymore. She was becoming someone with a dream. Is this just the thrilling beginning of an epic adventure? Darci's parents knew that she was very serious about ventriloquism, even though she was scared. To help her face her fears, they signed her up for the International Cinderella Scholarship Program in 2014. This was a big challenge. It would mean standing on stage in front of strangers. But it could also be her chance to shine. When Darci stepped on stage for the first time, she was terrified. Her heart was pounding, her palms were sweaty, and she wanted to run away. What inspired Darci to push through her fear and give her all on stage? She took a deep breath, performed, and gave it her all. And she won the title of International Mini Miss.
How did you get a voice?
For a girl who used to be too shy to sing in front of anyone, this was a huge deal. At this event, she also met Larissa Bonaquisti, a young ventriloquist who inspired her. Larissa showed her that ventriloquism could be more than just a show. It could be a way to express herself without being directly in the spotlight. Darci became even more interested in ventriloquism and decided to keep challenging herself. She started joining local competitions. Just a month after she began practicing ventriloquism, she entered Edmond's Got Talent. Even though she was still nervous about performing in front of people, she knew she had to try. She took a deep breath, got on stage, and won first prize. More than just a trophy, that competition introduced her to a professional ventriloquist named Gary Owen. He was so impressed with her talent that he offered to mentor her. It was like a dream come true for Darci, someone who could teach her and help her become even better. With Gary's support and growing confidence, Darci started entering more competitions. She won first place in the junior division of Oklahoma's Got Talent.
Carrots. What? Darci, there are so many people here.
And also won at Oklahoma Kids. Soon after, she went to Branson, Missouri for the American Kids competition, where she performed in the Broadway and Specialty Acts categories and earned the title of Entertainer of the Year. Every time she won, her confidence grew, and everyone could see that Darci was no longer just that shy girl. She was becoming a true performer. From fear to fame. After winning several local competitions, Darci Lynne knew she had to go bigger, and what could be more significant than America's Got Talent? It was one of the most famous talent shows in the world, where the stage was huge, the lights were bright, and millions of people were watching. For Darci, who had only recently learned to face a crowd, this was a giant leap, but it was a chance she couldn't miss. Could this be the moment that defined her career, or would the spotlight pressure be too much for her to handle? At only 12 years old, Darci walked onto the America's Got Talent stage with her puppet Petunia. The bright lights, the judges, the giant audience, it was overwhelming. But Darci took a deep breath and focused on what she loved doing. Could this performance be the key that unlocks a world of opportunities for Darci, or would it simply be another hurdle to overcome? Darci, with her puppet Petunia, walked onto the stage. You could almost feel her nerves as she stood before the judges: Simon Cowell, Mel B, Howie Mandel, and Heidi Klum. Petunia was a cute bunny puppet with a broad smile and big ears, and the moment Darci spoke through her, you could feel a bit of magic in the air. The judges looked curious as they asked about her talent. Darci explained that Petunia would be singing, and Simon's eyebrows went up. He seemed skeptical. As Simon Cowell raised his eyebrows skeptically, what thoughts raced through Darci's mind about proving herself to the judges? But Darci just smiled, took a deep breath, and got ready.
My name's Darci Lynne.
Okay, and Darci, who's that?
My name's Petunia.
When the music began and Darci started singing "Summertime" by Ella Fitzgerald, it wasn't just Darci's voice that amazed everyone. The way she sang with her puppet, moving Petunia's mouth ideally in sync with her beautiful voice, left everyone stunned. For a 12-year-old to sing so well was impressive on its own, but to do it through ventriloquism without moving her own lips was astonishing. The audience was captivated. How could a young girl have so much talent and skill? The judges were in awe, and Mel B hit the golden buzzer in a moment of pure excitement. Confetti poured down from above as the crowd cheered wildly. Darci's face showed complete surprise. The golden buzzer meant that Darci didn't have to go through the next rounds of auditions. She was going straight to the live shows. Tears filled her eyes as she hugged her puppet tightly. This was it. Her dream had taken a giant leap forward. How did a burst of confetti and applause transform Darci's dreams into reality overnight? The golden buzzer moment became an instant hit online. Within hours, it was trending on social media, and people worldwide were talking about the girl with the puppet who had stolen the show. In just 30 hours, Darci's audition became the most watched in America's Got Talent history, with over 105 million views on Facebook alone. Overnight, she went from being a local talent to a global sensation. She was featured on talk shows and news articles, and everyone talked about her incredible act. Even Simon Cowell, known for being tough, called it one of his favorite auditions. It was clear, Darci was no longer just a shy girl from Oklahoma. She was a star in the making. When the live shows began, the pressure was even higher. Now, millions of people were watching her, and she had to prove that her golden buzzer performance wasn't just luck. What would it take for Darci to prove that her golden buzzer moment was no fluke? Darci was ready. She introduced a new puppet, a nervous little mouse named Oscar, and they sang "Who's Loving You?" Oscar was funny, charming, and full of personality. Darci's performance was flawless. The way she interacted with her puppet and the way her voice flowed while her lips stayed perfectly still was amazing to watch. It wasn't just her voice, it was her connection with Oscar that made everyone love her even more. Each round of the show brought something new. In the semi-finals, she went back to Petunia and sang "With a Little Help from My Friends." Could this performance redefine her journey? The audience once again was in awe. The energy in the theater was electric as Darci put her heart and soul into her performance. The judges couldn't stop praising her. Simon Cowell even said that Darci was exactly what the world needed, and that she had made ventriloquism cool again. For a shy girl who once feared performing, this was beyond her wildest dreams. For the finals, Darci had a big plan. She wanted to show just how much she had grown as a performer. She introduced Edna, a puppet with a lot of sass and a hilarious attitude. Edna was a crowd favorite. What challenges did Darci face as she combined humor, ventriloquism, and singing in a way that had never been seen before on stage? Darci made everyone laugh as Edna flirted with Simon Cowell on stage. It was a perfect mix of humor, ventriloquism, and singing. It was clear that Darci had developed into not just a great singer, but a fantastic entertainer. She wasn't just standing on stage singing, she was performing in every sense of the word, and the audience loved her for it. For her very last performance, she brought back both Petunia and Oscar for a final song, "With a Little Help from My Friends." Could this indeed be her last chance to leave the judges and the audience breathless? It was a perfect ending. Darci moved effortlessly between the puppets, giving each one their own voice and personality. The audience was on their feet by the end, cheering and clapping for her. The judges gave her a standing ovation. She had done everything she could to show that she deserved to win, and now all that was left was the waiting. The night of the final results was filled with tension. Everyone had done their best, and the competition was fierce. But when it came down to the top two, Darci Lynne Farmer was standing there, holding her breath. Would the crushing weight of the spotlight become too much for her to bear, threatening to shatter her dreams in an instant? And then the announcement: Darci Lynne was the winner of Season 12 of America's Got Talent. Her reaction was pure shock and joy. She hugged her puppet, tears streaming down her face as confetti once again filled the air. It was a dream come true. Winning America's Got Talent was just the beginning for Darci. The prize included $1 million and the opportunity to headline a show in Las Vegas. Suddenly, Darci was performing in front of sold-out audiences in one of the biggest entertainment capitals in the world. She took the stage with her puppets, bringing joy and laughter to thousands of people. It was hard to believe that just a few years ago she had been too shy to sing in front of anyone. Now she was a star, and people loved her. Would she be able to meet the fierce pressure of fame? After her time on America's Got Talent, Darci continued her rise to fame by going on tour. Her show, Darci Lynne and Friends Live, traveled across the United States, with audiences eager to see her perform. Each show was filled with her unique mix of comedy, ventriloquism, and singing. She even began introducing new puppets, each with their own distinctive personality. Her performances were not just about her talent, they were about making people happy and laughing and showing them that dreams could come true if you worked hard enough. Darci was also invited to return for America's Got Talent: The Champions, where winners and top performers from different seasons competed against each other. It was a huge honor for Darci to be invited back. Did Darci hope to prove this to herself and her fans this time too? She delivered an amazing performance that once again showed just how talented she was. She made it all the way to the finals, proving that she wasn't just a one-time star, she was here to stay. Her fame also led her to appearances on popular TV shows like The Ellen DeGeneres Show and The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon. Each time, she brought her puppets and shared her journey, inspiring others to follow their dreams. People were drawn to her story, not just because of her talent, but because of her personality. Darci was kind, funny, and humble. Despite all her success, she never forgot where she came from or how hard she had worked to get there. In 2019, Darci took her talents to a Christmas special on NBC called Darci Lynne: My Hometown Christmas. It featured special guests, musical performances, and, of course, her puppets. The show was a hit and gave viewers a glimpse into Darci's life in Oklahoma and her love for the holidays. It was a perfect way to celebrate her success while staying true to her roots. How did Darci's story become a beacon of hope for those who might feel overlooked or unheard? Darci's journey wasn't just about winning competitions or gaining fame. It was about facing her fears and growing into the person she was always meant to be. She inspired people not just with her talent, but with her courage. She was the shy girl who dared to step into the spotlight, and in doing so, she showed others that they could do the same. Her story became one of hope, a reminder that even the quietest voices can make the loudest impact if they're given the chance. Darci Lynne Farmer is more than just a ventriloquist or a singer. She's a performer with a heart whole of dreams, and she has shown the world that anything is possible. From a young girl hiding behind her mom to a star standing in the spotlight, her journey has been incredible. And while she may have won America's Got Talent, her story is far from over. This is just the beginning for Darci Lynne, a rising star who isn't afraid to share her talent and her story with the world. What dreams does Darci hold on to, and how will she continue to evolve as an artist? Fame's cruel cost. Just when everything seemed to be going perfectly for Darci, she faced a challenge she never expected. In 2020, she was diagnosed with cancer. How could someone who had just triumphed over her fears now be faced with such a severe illness? For a young girl who had just become a star, this news was shocking and scary. The nerves she felt before her performances were nothing compared to this new fight. But instead of running away, Darci chose to confront it bravely, just like she had tackled her fear of the stage. Could the strength that helped her overcome her fears also help her fight this new enemy? During her treatment, Darci decided to share her journey with her fans. She was honest about the hard times, but she also shared moments of hope and joy. This openness required a lot of courage, but it inspired many people. Messages of support poured in from fans worldwide, reminding her she wasn't alone in this fight. Darci turned her struggles into a powerful message of hope, showing everyone that even when life gets tough, we can find the strength to keep going.
You know you're lovely, I know you can. Just shout whenever, hey, and I'll be there.
When Darci performed, it became her escape from the challenges she faced. What emotions swirled inside her as she stepped onto the stage, knowing the battle she was fighting off stage? Each time she stepped on stage, she could momentarily forget about her struggle and focus on bringing joy to her audience. Her performances were filled with raw emotion, and you could feel how much she cared. It wasn't just about entertaining, it was about sharing her heart. Each song and puppet interaction reminded everyone that beauty and joy can still exist, even in hard times. The unknown side of Darci Lynne. What hidden talents lie beneath Darci's charming performances as a ventriloquist and singer? Darci has a lot of other interests besides ventriloquism. She loves to sing and has explored many styles, from pop to jazz. She even learned to play the ukulele and piano, adding a fun twist to her shows. When she strums her ukulele, it brings a lively energy to her performances that her fans adore. Darci also decided to try hip-hop dance, which is a big step for someone who used to be shy about performing. Her eagerness to learn new things shows how much she has grown as an artist. Movies and TV shows inspire Darci too. She loves bringing her favorite characters to life through her puppets, making her performances even more relatable and fun. Her creativity knows no bounds whether she's singing, dancing, or working with her puppets. Her passion shines through every act, and her fans are always excited to see what she will do next. Behind the curtain of spotlight. The family has played a massive role in Darci's journey. Her mom, Misty, has always been her biggest supporter, encouraging her to chase her dreams. As a musician herself, Misty helped nurture Darci's talent from a young age. What heartwarming moments do they share as they practice songs and create memories together? They spent countless hours practicing together, creating unforgettable memories. Misty's belief in Darci helped her gain the confidence to shine. When Darci faced cancer, her family stood by her side, showering her with love and support. Her siblings cheered her on, reminding her to stay positive, even on tough days. This strong family bond helped Darci remain grounded and focused during her journey. Darci Lynne Farmer's story is one of strength, creativity, and the power of family. She shows us that we can rise above it even in the face of fear and challenges. With each performance, Darci spreads a message of hope, proving that no matter how hard life gets, we can always find reasons to smile and share our gifts with others. From fear to triumph, this journey has been nothing short of extraordinary. But could more challenges lurk in the shadows, waiting to test her strength again? Share your thoughts below. If you enjoyed this story, like and subscribe for more incredible tales that defy the odds.